All right. A little bit more of this too sweet news. Back in here. Talk a little bit about earnings for WWE that came out last week. Thursday, February 2nd, it came out. And just want to welcome y'all back to the channel. Today I got some exciting news to share about WWE. Sports entertainment company announced its full year earnings for 2022, as well as its earnings for Q4. And guess what? Full year earnings for 2022 was a record breaker. Or should I say, a backbreaker. All right, so WWE reported record high profits of $1.3 billion earned in revenue during the whole 2022, driven by the strength of its content and brand, as well as the return to the full year ticketed live events and increased rights fees for weekly programming and premium events. So if you remember, last year's earnings were a little flubbed because of the thing that we won't talk about. But they got a full year of live events, so they made a little over $1 billion for the whole year of 2022, which is great. And for the fourth quarter of 2022, WWE saw a 5% increase in revenue to $325.3 million, pretty much due to an increase in network revenues and higher monetization of third-party original programming. However, operating income decreased 22% to $62.7 million, and adjusted OEBITDA decreased 4% to $90.2 million due to an increase in operating expenses for content creation and other factors. Nick Khan, Chief Executive Officer of WWE, stated that the company is focused on continuing to execute its original operational initiatives in 2023, as well as reviewing strategic alternatives to maximize value for all shareholders, which means hopefully they're looking at strategic plans to maximize our returns if you are a shareholder. Meanwhile, WWE President and CFO Frank Riddick stated that the company anticipated OEBITDA, I'm trying to make sure you understand me, not EBITDA, but OEBITDA, an adjusted OEBITDA. Now, if nobody knows what that means, OEBITDA is operating income before depreciation and amortization, if you know what that means. Go look it up. So they're going to adjust that from $395 to $410 million in 2023, which means they plan to make more money. So that is a reflection of continued revenue growth and a relatively flat operating expense. WWE also generated strong cash flows. Let me say that again. WWE also generated strong cash flows, with free cash flow increasing from $31.8 million in the fourth quarter of 2021 to $43 million in the same period in 2022. So that means in the fourth quarter of 2021 and the fourth quarter of 2022, WWE basically made an extra, $12 million. And that's partly due to the favorable timing of collections associated with large-scale international events. The company returned $8.9 million of capital to shareholders in dividends during the fourth quarter of 2022. So, let me ask this question. Did any of y'all get the any of the $8.9 million in dividends they gave back in the fourth quarter? No? Yes? I know I did. But let's move on to the special committee investigation. A lot of people want to know about that. So, a special committee of independent members of the board of directors was formed to investigate the alleged misconduct of Vincent K. McMahon and other executives. The company's investigation has been completed, and the results have been disclosed by the company. You can go look at some SEC filings if you want to know more about that. But real quick, let me give you an impact from the results of the special committee. So for the 3 and 12-month periods ended December 31st, 2022, end of the year pretty much, the company's results included an impact of $2.3 million and $21.7 million respectively in expenses related to this investigation. Maybe it would explain why they decided to give out $8.9 billion in dividends last quarter to kind of keep the investors there, the shareholders, but who knows? So, because of that, there will be a reimbursement by Mr. McMahon. Mr. McMahon has agreed to personally reimburse the company for these expenses out of his own pocket. In addition to this, Mr. McMahon has agreed to make certain payments of $7.4 million, which is also to be paid from his own personal funds. So if you're worried about Vince McMahon taking company money to pay these alleged accusers, don't worry about it, because if he did, he's got to give it back. But I'm not saying he did. Let's get that straight. In other matters, for the 3-month period ending December 31st, 2021, the company's results included the impact of a $6.7 million gain from the reduction of leased space for the 12-month period ending December 31st, 2021, not 2022. The company's results included an $8.1 million in severance expenses associated with the combination of its television, digital, and studio teams. So, to summarize that, pretty much WWE closed a lot of leasing spaces at the end of 2021, but they probably pushed it off, the expenses, until 2022. So that's why they're speaking of it now. But you can always go to the company's SEC filings if you want to know more. Now, moving on to what's expected from my favorite company in 2023. So the Q1 outlook, the company has set a target of adjusted OEBITDA between $395 million and $410 million for the full year 2023, which would be an all-time record result. The company also expects to achieve another year of all-time record revenue in 2023. So you better strap up, ladies and gentlemen. This will be due to an increase in media rights for its weekly programming and live events, an increase in advertising and sponsorship revenue, and a full live events touring schedule. Operating expenses for 2023 are expected to be relatively flat, which is good. We don't want to see it increase. I mean, I'd like to see it drop, but I'd rather see it flat. Sometimes in stocks, no change is good change. So let me go speak about the rights, the media rights. So they got a lot of media rights that'll be up for sale soon. So just continue to expect the best. And And continue to follow this channel because I will keep you updated on everything. So as far as the continued outlook for Q1 of 2023, management believes that the company is well positioned to capitalize on significant future opportunities in 2023, including the renewal of licensing agreements, the monetization of new programming, growth in advertising and sponsorship sales, and the release of the latest installment of its flagship video game franchise. Does anybody actually play that? The company will continue to evaluate its financial performance and balance adjusted OEBITDA growth with increased investment. The company estimates total capital expenditures of $150 million to $170 million in 2023, with the majority related to its new headquarters that it's been building for years now. Go figure. The company expects total capital expenditures to be around 4 to 5% of revenue once the headquarters is completed. The company estimates adjusted OEBITDA between $65 million and $75 million for the first quarter of 2023. How much of those millions are y'all gonna get for investing in WWE during the first quarter? I'm pretty sure what I'm gonna get. The estimate primarily reflects a shift in the timing of large-scale international shifts. Finally, as previously disclosed, the company's executive chairman and management teams are reviewing strategic alternatives with the goal of maximizing value for its shareholders. And as a sidebar, I just want to mention in the Royal Rumble, if you realize they had a Mountain Dew pitch black match. Okay, so that's how I believe they're going to be moving forward with these sponsorships. They may have a company such as how they did Mountain Dew sponsor a match. And I don't know if you looked at the countdown for the Rumble. It was actually sponsored by Applebee's. So I believe they're going to be throwing a lot of new sponsorships and ads and stuff within the show to get them away from just ad-based commercials. I believe they're going to be integrating some of these ads and partnerships within the television shows. So with that, that's all for today's update on WWE's financial results for 2022, the full year, Q4, and the Q1 outlook for 2023. We hope you found this information helpful. Don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment below. Even if it ain't a good comment, just leave me a comment. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you can dig that.
You're either bloodline or you're not.